So today I wanted to do a little bit more in depth on the Buster brace, what it is, why we designed it, how we came about, and how it can maybe help you out on the trail. Before I get started, I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about what we've done, why we come up with the parts that we did, and how we're testing it. The Buster brace came about because back in August, getting a Bronco, we went out, we started wheeling hard. We broke tie rods, we broke the steering rack, and through an evolution of a process, we came up with fixes. First thing I tried, and even up until as early as 6 weeks ago, I was even testing out on my other Bronco, doing Heim joints. And we learned that with Heim joints, the problem was you know, things would bind, articulation. It just wasn't a solution for everybody. It was hard to seal off the rack for keeping moisture out of it. After running my wife's Bronco with the Heim joint set up on there, we drove through the snow and the ice, and we were already starting to see rust and stuff. So we decided that keeping it in stock formation, but keeping it from breaking was the way to go. And that's why one night I woke up with this idea of building a brace, basically a sleeve that goes over the tie rod to reinforce it and keep it from breaking. We'll go into that later on the install and exactly how it works on that. But first I wanted to show some videos. We listened to feedback, and I've had a lot of inquiries and, okay, what are you doing to test it? How do you know that this solves a problem? And so we've taken our Broncos out and we've taken it to the test. The videos that we're going to show in a little bit, filmed a couple weeks ago in Sand Hollow at the Winter Jamboree, and we started off with level 7, 8 rated trails. You'll see in my intro, I put it as a level 8. It's arguable online. Some places call it a level 7, some say a level 8, and that is the 777s. So we'll show you some stuff we did on 777 trail. We also then the next day moved on to John's trail to then go do Joint Effort, which Joint Effort is actually a 9 rated trail. Some pretty cool footage there. And some of y'all may have seen some footage on the internet of when we broke on Risky Business. So on Risky Business, we set off on that trail early on. Like I said, it's a 9 rated trail. Completed the whole thing with a group of other Jeeps. We're of course the only Bronco there. We get to the very end, you know, hadn't broke nothing. We're able to keep all of our axles intact. Steering is holding up great. And we show up with Light Bright Nation, and we decided they were taking their buggy, and we'll show some footage of that, of the buggy going up some lines. And I looked over at my wife and I said, I want to try that in the Bronco. She gave me a little bit of a look of horror as I said that, because we're not talking about an easy climb. It's 9, 10 rated buggy line, really. And you'll be able to see that in the video. You'll be able to see how a buggy struggles, and then I take my wife's Bronco up it. Well, in that video, of course, as a lot of you might know, it ended a little bit catastrophically. I ended up setting the whole Bronco on the side of the rock. We ended up breaking an axle shaft, ended up breaking the differential. So, you know, because of the axle shaft break, it then caused damage to the differential. If you're not interested in any of the content of what broke, or how it broke, or why it broke, and you just want to skip forward to the end of the video, in the end of the video, we'll introduce the install, just to kind of hopefully simplify it for y'all a little bit about how it goes on and save you some time in that. If you haven't already looked into what the bronc bushing is, click on this link. It'll go to one of our other videos that explains what it is, how it solves another problem on the steering. Also, I've had a lot of inquiries about the shirt, Let's Go Bronco. I did not come up with this design. Jesse with Hellabad Broncos did. And if you're interested in buying it, you can go to Hellabad Broncos website. Also, it'll be available here in the next week or two on our website, and that link is in the bottom also. You know, as we've been testing our components, testing our steering, and taking it on these 9, 10 rated trails, of course we're gonna break other things. And so I just thought I'd give you a short little on what's broke. Maybe if you guys encounter it, you can kind of see. Some people are interested, some people not. This part here is what broke. We're gonna have to redo one of the bushings, because as it sat on this extension piece that comes from the passenger side, we broke in there, and it kind of tore up the inside. So we're in the process of, today we're actually going to mill that out and put a bushing in it and reinstall it. This technically, I guess, is a non-serviceable diff. We are going to service this diff and put it back into service, because getting a new diff is a little bit difficult right now. Why we broke that day? You know, I've had some people say, well, you needed to rock crawl, not hammer it. And if you see all my videos throughout the week of us riding, we weren't hammering it. So as we got to the end of the trail, we were doing risky business, and we learned real quickly that the torque converter and the transmission was overheating. Now, it wasn't until later that I come to figure all that out. Of course, I'm on the trail. I got cameras on me. I got people all over watching. I got a spotter trying to get me up. We were almost to the top, and I knew I had to back up and kind of give it a little bit of beans, and when I did so, because the vehicle was putting it into kind of a limp mode, I wasn't able to sit there and spin the wheels or crawl it. It just had nowhere to go. So I made the decision to kind of bump it a little bit. As I bumped it, I slid down in, landed on the side, broke the axle. So again, ideally, you don't want to bump it. Ideally, you want to just crawl it. So as we're working through the fail points, we're working on solutions like re-gearing. As we re-gear, once parts come available, then I'll be able to climb that without putting as much stress on. We have some other ideas we're working on too, but stay tuned for that. Meanwhile, we're going to move into the content of us wheeling out there at Sand Hollow. Again, stay tuned for the end of the video, because that's when we'll go into the install of the Buster brace. We're out here today, Sand Hollow. Tyler with Bronco Buster, and this is Amy with Bronco Buster.
Hi.
So we're out here testing more of the modifications on the Bronco. You can see behind us, but we got a whole large group with us today. Doing right now 777s, which is a 8 rated trail, and having a lot of fun doing it. We're about halfway through the trail right now, and so far we've had only a couple breakdowns from people, not us, not the Broncos. So far everything's holding up well, and so we're gonna give you a little bit of entertainment today, hopefully, and hopefully enjoy this. Stuff like that, just kind of barely wiggle your wheel. Passenger? No. Passenger? Right back. Keep going. Keep going. You're good. Hug it though, right? Yep, just hug it. Just like that. Straighten out just a little more. Yep. You got a good tug ball. Press against it. So.
Hi.
Not. Oh.
Calm it down.
No, it's teetering.
Here we go. Come on up. Drive a little bit, driver. Driver. Right there. Coming.
Ow.
Oh yeah. Waving at you.
Held that wave, huh? Oh yeah. Well, he'll in back. Nope, won't work. Back up.
So what we can't see is that wheel's not 6 inches off the ground. It's about 4 feet off the ground. And see, yeah, that's like a 42-inch tire. And see how it's buried in that hole that it was just flying above. She's doing a great job. She's working it. Nice, nice. It's grabbing, it's grabbing. Oh, our back tire's down that hole. That's a tough one. That's where I could not get with mine. Otherwise, it was body damage and my little tires would not climb out. But this guy, on the other hand, different story. climbing all over the place around us here. Oh, does he have it? Oh, nope, he's not gonna have it. Let's switch back over to Brittany here. Nope, just lost her back tire again. Back over to Brittany here. Well, she looks like she's in a much better spot. There she goes. Got her passenger back tire in the wall. Front's climbing out of the crack. Oh, just losing that back tire again. Maybe, maybe not. Oh, there we go. There we go. So close. So close. So close on that. There it is. There it is. Woo!
This way, right there. That way. As soon as you get that way. Coming? There you go. There you go. Passenger, passenger, right there. He's just hard on this slider. Not too much passenger. Now go forward, forward. All the passengers back forward. Yes. Yeah. Just a little bit. Now come driver. Back driver. Come on, baby. Work it, driver. Slow down, slow down, slow down. Slow down. Work it, driver. You need a lot. Work it more, driver.
It's close.
Yeah, I haven't seen a blue Bronco before.
Driver? That's all right. Back it up, passenger.
I know, I get stuck on stuff now.
There we go. Get up on top. We'll have. There we go. Let's have some driver now forward.
Exactly. Now I've got to pack up.
There you go. Can you get me passenger right now? There you go. So forward and passenger.
Gently.
Passenger. Nice and slow. All locked up. Just like that. Passenger, passenger.
That's it, that's it, that's it.
Just like that.
Yep. Got it. That's it. Climb. Not driver. It was good. That was a good one.
More driver. There you go. There we go. Okay, let's have some passenger forward.
Keeping passenger a little longer. A little longer. Oh, it's almost up.
Hold on. Back it back down. We're gonna try that again. A little momentum.
It's right there.
Just a little bit.
That rear tire, I can see it.
Passenger.
I want to put weight on the bumper.
Go ahead. That's a big bang.
I don't see much.
Get door handle on the passenger rear.
Yeah, door handle. Just the handle.
Who needs a door handle?
I think it would be a bad idea to pull the winch right now, though.
It's true.
Right? You're so hard on that, that angle of your tire, you can break the rack.
It's wedged in all full driver right now.
Tyler, you're almost up!
If y'all need to move mine out of the way, feel free.
Non-beat line.
You want more? Not.
No, plenty.
No, fast throttle, dude.
Hold up.
It's on the body now.
Can we get...
Don't wait.
Okay, can you turn passenger? Let the winch out just a hair. There you go, like that. A little bit more. How's he doing on the body over there?
Can you see
He's
the body?
touching it.
Oh.
It's just on the rear quarter.
Is it hitting the body?
Yep.
Just barely loves half in the quarter.
I love that
Just
love
like you are,
tap.
but don't let it steer full long.
What if? Oh, there you go.
Don't
Okay.
let it, winch out. Winch out. Hold that steering wheel. Yep, just like that.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yep, back it up.
It should come you up on your passenger side, level you out a little.
Keep the winch up his tire.
There you go.
Keep coming. Okay, hold up. Now try to back up and keep coming this way. Nope, not gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen. Okay,
As he starts winching, it might be able to start.
yep,
Relieving
come
pressure?
forward here. Yep, just like that. Just hold it on. Yep. Forward gear, turn driver.
Dude, you're killing that push right there.
Oh, you need to winch too.
Hopefully you enjoyed some of that content. As a reminder, our channel is all about coming up with solutions for the Bronco. So if you like what we're talking about, and if you want to hear and be able to be up to date on new solutions we come up with, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel so that you can have this stuff in the future. If you think about this as maybe even a structural member of a truss or something, that thread is your weakest point. That's where everybody breaks. We came up with a way that we can bridge that weak part of the brake of the tie rod and allow you to go from a level 6, level 7 trail without braking to be able to push it all the way up to that level 9, level 10 rated trail without breaking tie rods, without being stranded on the side of a trail trying to figure out how you're going to get your Bronco home, because trust me, it's not fun. With that install, you'll want to have a pair of pliers, and I decided to do it off of the vehicle, better lighting, better visibility, so I can go over different details of this. If you want, I have other videos that go into, on the vehicle, how it goes on. This just gives you a little bit more in depth. So you'll want to take and loosen that clamp and slide it up out of the way. We want to show this groove. This is the important part. Some of the feedback I've got was the instructions maybe weren't quite as legible, so I wanted to make sure everybody understood that the whole idea is that we're capturing that groove, okay? And we're going to start with the bolts in the up position. Eventually that's going to rotate and come to where you can see the Bronc Buster facing out. So that's the front of the vehicle. This is the back of the vehicle. Of course, you got your shock mount and everything here. And that's the whole purpose of this. In stock configuration, we didn't need this grooved out. For those of you that'll put aftermarket coilovers, those coilovers come down a little bit further, and we had to put that, that little definition in there so we'd clear any of that coilover. So again, to start to install it, you're going to want to start with it in this position. 4 longer screws and then 4 of the shorter screws. So the whole reason for putting them in like this, just it's easier to get the bolt started sitting in this position. And again, just a couple of threads in there. If you go too far, you're going to have a hard time rotating this in the position you need it. Okay, then you're going to rotate that all the way to the back, and you'll see that we are capturing completely that groove right here. So we're overlapping that groove by about 1/2 inch. You'll kind of feel where it comes into place. And then you'll go ahead and start to tighten all these down. So the easiest way to do it, just tighten them in as far as you can by hand. So now that you've got them all on there by hand, you've rotated it to the front, you've got your number 5 Allen wrench. Again, this, I'm going to use a drill for this purpose. You're going to have to use a hand Allen wrench to get that on. And you're going to basically do it in a star pattern. You go that one, and then go to the back one, back corner. Don't tighten them all the way yet, just kind of get them all set. It may make it easier too, that as you rotate your wheel from side to side, jump in the vehicle, pull it to one side, you get more clearance to get in there, go to the other side, do the other half. It really shouldn't take more than about 10 minutes per side of the vehicle to install this. Okay, so now you'll see that I've got a gap, both top and bottom. Okay, so the idea is not to completely close that gap for 2 reasons. This being a splint of sort, you know, we want to capture it and tighten it. Every single one of these castings will be a little bit different. So as I tighten that, the gap will close some. As you'll see, there is still a little bit of a gap. You won't see it from in front. Now this outer tie rod is literally made by a casting, meaning it's poured in place, they pull it apart. So you have this parting line, and every one of them are gonna have it, and then literally they're taken by hand, run on a belt sander by an individual. And so depending on who run that parting line, you may end up with a little bit more. Now, if you don't like how it sits maybe on this, I've got a little wider gap, you want it to sit a little tighter, that's fine. Then I recommend you take a file, and with that file, it won't take you but a couple minutes, and you just file that parting line down. And you can see it's shiny, you can take it down a little further. The important thing to note is that, yes, we could have made our part bigger so that no matter what your parting line was, it would fit. But then you could have play, this could wobble. And again, the 2-part purpose is that we're tight on it, number 1. And number 2, that any water moisture that gets in there, we want it to drain out. We don't want it to stay in there and possibly cause corrosion down the road. We're gonna have another video with our new product, which is a shock skid that will go into, you know, further helping protect components of the Bronco as you're off-roading. Thank you for tuning in today. We look forward to working with the Bronco community to help solve your problems.